And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Zac Bruney Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, tightly contested game for you on Saturday, but a nice bounce back with a 26-21 win over Concord. Talk about that win and kind of what it does for your team to get back in the win column.
Well, it means a lot. It was a good win. Guys handled, a week of practice that we made some changes, just as far as just the style of practice, how we approach practice, start to finish. And I think it helped us. I think our guys responded the right way. We had a tough one the week before with Frostburg, but just like anything else, our resiliency showed, and it was fueled by a good week of preparation. I was proud of our coaches. They did a good job with our game plan. Offense, defense, special teams, all three contributed in a very significant fashion to get a good team win. So that's what it was. It was a total team win. Really proud of our guys. Glad to get a home win. Glad to get a win for the seniors kind of in the last four quarters at home this fall. And, sets us up for, still the ability to compete in the conference with a couple more regular season games left.
And you had that senior day ceremony in the pregame. What was that like for you as a coach to watch those guys walk across the field, knowing that they've worked so hard over these 4 years?
Well, it's always, it's always sentimental, but it's always special. But at the time, you're happy for them, you're proud of them, but there's still a game to be played and a job to do. So, shook all their hands as they came off the field, told them I was proud of them, I loved them, and let's go do our job. And, hopefully we can play well enough to celebrate for 24 hours after the fact. But always great to honor the guys that have invested the most in your program over 4 to 5 years. Have a really good group of older guys in the program that, have taken a lot of ownership and have put a lot into it, both on the field and off the field, and have kind of taken our program to that next step after, your initial 3 to 4 years of kind of infancy in Division II and in the Mountain East to where you're growing to hopefully become a contender each and every year. And our older guys have led that charge to get us to that point.
And obviously big contributions on the special teams side from Connor Fitzpatrick. Sets the single-game field goals record with 4. Talk about him and kind of what made him so good on the day.
Well, we had, great operations. He had a great day kicking, of course. Hit 4 or 5, hit all our extra points, and we scored in the red zone, and Connor was a key factor in that. One of the tales of the game was red zone opportunities. We didn't get as many touchdowns as we would have liked in the red zone. But we were scoring in the red zone, and Connor was a big factor in that. So we won the red zone battle with the points. I think it was 19-14. But anytime we can get points, and we're getting better in that, our operations and our protection, and Alex is doing a great job with our snapping. Jordan Kaiser does a great job with the holds, and Connor he's gotten better because he's worked hard in practice. And our special teams overall, Coach Smith with those units, all the units of the punt, the kickoff, and all the returns, and our PAT field goal unit work really hard. They study film. We get scouting reports every week, and we put a lot into it in practice. So Connor had a great day. He was a big contributing factor in the win, as well as all the special teams, units throughout the day helped us win that game.
And you guys once again win the turnover battle. Cameron Reynolds gets honored by the conference Defensive Player of the Week for causing 2 of those turnovers. Talk about that defense as a whole and kind of how they came up with those big opportunities.
Well, they played really well. They flew around. They tackled really well. They flew to the ball. And anytime you can create turnovers, it's a product of guys being around the football, whether it's a pass interception, a fumble recovery, a tip pass that leads to a pick, a great hit that puts the ball on the ground. That led to opportunities, and it gets us more possessions offensively, so it's complementary football. We turned them over on downs twice as well. So in our eyes, turnovers on downs count like turnovers because, you're stopping a team on a possession where they go for it on 4th down versus kicking, a field goal or punting the ball. So our defense did a great job. They had a great day, top to bottom, front to back. All 4 quarters, they played outstanding football. and made some timely plays and like I said, gave us more possessions on offense, to help us score, help us win the field position battle, which was won by our defense and our special teams on Saturday.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zac, guys are going on the road for the last 2 weeks of the season. The home schedule's wrapped up. Got 2 tough opponents coming up. How do you tackle these last 2 weeks heading on the road and kind of dealing with going away from Bishop Schmidt-Field?
Well, stay in the process. I think we've played well on the road, just based on our process and our schedule and sticking to what we believe in. As far as our week, our preparation, Monday's Monday, Tuesday's Tuesday. It takes us all the way to, a Friday and a Saturday where you might be traveling on a Friday, you might be traveling on a Saturday. We don't really care where we play. Our approach has to be the same, and our guys believe in, themselves no matter where they're playing. Playing on the road doesn't really faze us because we've had success, and when you have success on the road, that leads to confidence, right? And our guys have confidence whether they're playing at home or on the road. But I think they believe in our process and our preparation in their Monday through Friday to get ready for a game, whether it's home or away. But, going on the road, and it's hard to win on the road. It's hard to win, period. But, staying with your preparation and staying with your process gives your guys confidence to go play well anywhere they're going to play, and hopefully that's the case again this week and, of course, next week.
And you guys got a tough Glenville State team that's been playing pretty good football this year. Talk a little bit about the Pioneers and kind of some of the matchups you're seeing.
Well, they have a really experienced quarterback who's big and strong and has a really good arm. He's been there a few years. He's entrenched as their starter. He's been one of the better quarterbacks in the conference the last few years. He's a really good player. They always have a good, well-coached offensive line, and they got some receivers and tight ends and running backs skill-wise they're very capable of scoring the football, rushing the football, catching the football, doing something with it after they have it in their hands. And then defensively, they're very sound. They mix up fronts. They bring pressure. They mix up their coverages. They have a very experienced back end. One of the better safeties in the conference, of course, plays bandit for them. One of the better stud nickel sandbackers in the conference plays outside for them. Their experience and their coaching staff has been there and been together for a few years, similar to ours. So there's continuity and there's belief in their system. We've had some really good games with them over the last 4 years. It's going to be another tough one on Saturday that's going to take all 4 quarters of great execution to win, and they'll make it tough on us and we'll make it tough on them. So we're expecting another really good conference game that, the parity in the conference this year is very, very high. Any team's capable of beating anybody each week, and you got to prepare each week for a really good opponent that is preparing just as hard as you with good players and good coaches, and that's what makes college football fun, though, and that's what gives you the great experience of being a player or a coach. When you have to go up against good teams with good coaches and good players, that's what makes it fun and exciting.
And you guys, as you're heading into these last 2 weeks, as you mentioned several times, you're playing meaningful games late in the season. Talk about your message to your guys as you try to make a push and try to get to that first NCAA postseason berth.
Well, we can only control what's in front of us, and we really can't control what might happen outside of our own games, right? So when you're in a tight conference race, it's easy to kind of like scoreboard watch or worry about maybe what's going on outside of, your own game. But you can't do that, right? You got to focus on who's in front of you, when they're in front of you, and just go play and just try and be 1-0. And that's all we're focused on. 4 quarters on Saturday. That's the only thing guaranteed right now is us preparing to go play this Saturday against Glenville State. Guaranteed 4 quarters last week at home. Guaranteed 4 quarters this week against Glenville. Anything else outside of our control, we can't really worry about. Now, as young people, and when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, that's hard to do. But I think our guys, from a top-to-bottom standpoint, have good focus. They have good leadership amongst themselves, especially coming from the older guys. And, Glenville's got us the last couple of years in really good games. So we got to go get ready to play a team that's, really good and is at our number for a couple years. And, that's all we can control. So let's go out and have a great week of practice and get ready for Saturday, because that's the only thing we can control, and anything outside of that we can't worry about.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zac Ziegler.
And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.